Hello again everyone, welcome back. This is lesson 12 in our series, and we're going to be carrying on looking at strumming patterns today. Now the last two videos, 10 and 11 I believe it is, have both dealt with strumming exercises, and if you haven't looked at those or done those or tried those things out, I would strongly recommend that you do that first before you move on to this. The lessons are in order, they do build one on the other. It's up to you, of course. I would also say there's 8 different strumming patterns here, and I wouldn't try and do them all in one go. By all means, look right through the video and see what we're talking about, but then go back, and if you look at the description below, if you click more, the timings for each of the patterns are there. Just take one pattern perhaps each day or each practice session that you have, and don't try and do them all at once. It'll be a bit overwhelming and not to say boring if you do that. Now I know I tend to repeat things, but these things are important. Just to say once again, make sure that your guitar's in tune, you're sitting properly, you've got the head of the guitar raised. Use a thin pick. I would recommend using your 38. Doesn't sound very good, but again, you're not afraid of it getting caught in the strings because it's nice and flexible. And make sure that when you strum, you swing your arm from the elbow. Don't try and twiddle your wrist. And also, we're going to practice these patterns without using any chords, so we don't have to think about the left hand, or we're just going to damp the strings by laying our fingers very lightly across them so that we get this deadened sound, and that way we can practice the patterns and pretend that we're a drummer. Now in lesson 10, if you remember, we just held down an E chord and we just played on the beats 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the 4 beats in a bar, and eventually we hit the strings on the way back up, and we call those ands between the beats 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then in lesson 11 we moved on a little bit, and we decided that we would miss out some of the ands. So we played, let's say 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So we missed out some of the ands, but we still played on the 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we're going to move on today, and we're going to miss out not just some of the ands, but also some of the beats themselves, some of the 1, 2, 3 and 4. And this is how we get realistic strumming patterns. Now there's one other major difference now that we're moving on, and that is we're not going to write one and write the words out that we did last time, because the 1, 2, 3 and 4 are all down strums. So we write the letter D, and the ands are all where we catch the strings coming back up, and they're between the beats, and they're U or up, so it's down, up and down and up. So all the downs on the 1, 2, 3 and 4, and all the ups are on the ands in between the beats. And this is how you write strumming patterns. So in the case of pattern 1, what we're calling pattern 1 here, the first D or down would be beat 1, and then the second D that you see there is beat 2, and the final D is beat 4. So you notice that we're not playing beat 3, and we're not playing an and between 1 and 2. We're playing an and after beat 2, and we're playing an and just before beat 4. We'll have a practical demonstration of this in a minute, but we would say down, down, up, up, down as we're playing it. And again, don't forget you need to write all these patterns down just as I've written them here. Leave a little gap, it gives you an idea of how to play the pattern. And let's have a look at how that goes. Alright, well remember, we need to imagine that we're playing with the drummer, or even better if we can if we have a metronome, set it at around 60 beats a minute. Don't forget to get your arm swinging first, and then we're going to say down, We don't hit it as we come back up. Then we play down, up. This time we do hit it. Then we swing down without catching the strings. Now this is different to anything that we've done before. And then we play up and down, and that's the end of our pattern. So we don't hit it as we come back up to start the pattern again. So it's one, no and, two, and, no three, and four. So we say down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Now just keep playing that until it becomes automatic. Say to yourself down, down, up, down, and try and keep it smooth and even. Don't forget the upstrokes are not a separate beat in themselves, they're just in between the beats. It's the down, down, and down, 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 and down, 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 and down. Now strumming patterns are not to be slavishly copied. They're simply a guide, and you can improvise on them, pick and mix them, and you just got to go with the feel of the song. But if we were trying to play this pattern basically starting off with I'm not following it strictly, I'm adding little bits in here and there, but I'm getting the general feel of the pattern. That's the sort of thing it would sound like if we used it with chords. Now a lot of people will tell you that pattern is very common and one of the most widely used patterns in guitar playing. Personally, I don't use it very much. I tend to use this one. There's not a lot of difference. The only difference really is that we play an up or an and, if you like, after beat 4 before starting the pattern again. Otherwise it's exactly the same, but it makes the thing flow a little bit more. We want to sing it down, down, up, down, up. So it's almost the same as I said the last one, but for that final up. It's just a small difference, but it makes quite a big difference in feel. So down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. And we're practicing it a little bit slowly. Perhaps if we were playing it in the context of a song, we might play it a little bit faster. But practice it slowly first, and you can speed it up as you go along. Now let's have a look at what we were calling pattern 3. Now again, all we're doing here is adding an extra up or and, if you like, after the first beat, so between the first and second beats. Otherwise, again, it's exactly the same, but again, it does alter the feel of the whole pattern. I mean, let's face it, there's only 4 possible down beats and 4 possible up beats, so there's only a certain number of combinations we can use, but they all have their unique feel. So really we're not missing much out in this one, apart from the down beat on beat 3. We're playing 1 and 2 and missing out 3, then playing the and for and. It's just the third down strum that we're missing. So we say to ourselves again, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. So if we put that third beat in, we'll just be playing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, which is a bit boring. Just missing that one beat out of all the possible beats that we have in this pattern makes a lot of difference. It gives a little bit of a lift to the strumming pattern. A little bit of breathing space there. Practice that a bit slower to start with. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, well, we're getting a little bit more complicated now. We've got down, up, up, down, up. Now, if you think of it as a slight delay before you play that first up, and the reason is because there's no and after beat 1 and there's no beat 2. So that's the and after beat 2 or between beat 2 and 3 that we've got there as that first U. And then there's no beat 3 either, so there's a lot of space in this pattern at first, and then it's and 4 and, so it's kind of crowded at the end. Let's have a look at how that goes. This one we go down, so that's beat 1, we come back up, we don't catch the strings, we go back down, that's beat 2, we don't catch the strings, then we catch them on the way back up, then we go down again, we don't play beat 3, and then we play up, down, up. So and 4 and. So it's 1, no and, no 2, and, no 3, and 4 and. See how we're waving our arm about here, we're not playing anything. We want to play something, but we're not to play something. So say to yourself, down, up, up, down, up, down, up. So I can play this one just straight as it's written. But since there's a long pause after that verse down, it can sound quite good if you damp it. So you just play just touch the strings with the heel of your hand. A little bit of a technique here, probably too advanced for the time being, but this is where we're heading for. All right, now what we're calling pattern 5. This one, a little bit different again. We've got to think of it as a slight delay for the second up. Now, what we're actually playing here is 1 and, we're missing out 2, then we're playing the and, we're missing out 3, and then we're playing and 4 and. So we're only playing actually 2 of the downbeats. We're playing 1 and 4. We're missing out 2 and we're missing out 3. We're playing all of the ands. So this is nearly all upstrokes and not so many downstrokes. Okay, so it's down, up, 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 down, down, up, 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 down. Do it now. So if I just play it straight, I just get down, up, down, up. Which is fine, but if I put a little damp on either side of that up in the middle, play it down, up, just damp it, touch the strings, play my up, damp it again, and then play that up, and I'll get a... And now we come to the first pattern that's not in 4/4 time. This is in 3/4 time. It's what's called waltz time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Don't get a lot of rock songs that are in this timing. A lot of country music is in this timing though. 2/4 and 3/4 are quite popular for that. Now, in fact, there are lots of different ways to play this, but however we play it, the important thing is to emphasize the 1. That's what keeps the rhythm going. So we hit the 1 quite hard, 1. Then we want a 2 and a 3, which we just kind of throw away. And then we want 1, 2 and 3. Now we can add a little up, for example, to the third beat. So we can play a 1, a 2 and then a and 3. 1, 2 and 3. The one I've got written down there is 1, 2 and 3 and, which is fine. You could pick and mix between these ones, but I'm playing a down, 2 and 3 and down, down, up, down, 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 down. So our waltz time would be so I'm playing, actually focusing a little bit on the bass strings for my heavy note, and then I'm just doing my up and downs on the top few strings just to make it a bit lighter. Now our 7th pattern is similar to the waltz pattern. It's still, they've got that 3/4 feel to it, but it's called 6/8. So in other words, we're playing basically twice as fast. 3/4, 6/8, just double everything. This does occur in popular music and rock songs, not just in country music. And it's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. It's very fast strumming pattern, and we emphasize once again the first beat, or the single D's there that you see. So heavy down and then down, up is done much more lightly. Now really all we're doing is fitting our good old waltz pattern down, down, up into the same bar twice. So we're just kind of playing faster, but it does change the feel of the whole thing. So we play down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, hitting the downs harder, but fitting 2 of those waltz patterns into the same bar. So instead of 3/4, it's 6/8. Okay, now this 8th and final pattern that we're going to look at today is absolutely spot on for lots of country music, country roads and all the rest of it. Down, down, up, down. And what we're doing is we're having little groups of down, up, downs with a pause between them, but you start on the 3rd and last D in each of those groups. So I've written it there that you can see it. If you don't do that, it's very hard to get into that rhythm. I'll show you that in a moment. Okay, so if I just pop in the middle of the pattern, down, up, down, down, up, down. You notice I'm coming back up without hitting the strings, up, down, coming back up without hitting the strings. That's your little pause. But start on the 3rd and final down in each group, as I said, down, 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 and emphasize that 3rd and final group. So the first 2 are played a little bit lightly, down, up, and then a heavy down. Okay, well, I think this video is long enough, so I'm not going to do any more riffs this time. There's half a dozen in the last 3 videos, which you can keep on with, and we'll do some more next time. We've got some fun ones coming up. Anyway, I must dash. I've got to get down to the undertaker's and make another payment on my granddad's funeral plan. It's cost us 12 grand so far. I begin to wish we hadn't buried him in a rented suit.